Welcome back, everyone. Now, in this video, I know that I'm really late to the game as far as the latest news on this, but Android 15 has been put out for the Surface Duo 2. Now, just like Taiwan's version of Android 14, this is not an official release, and it's also based on the Pixel Fold ROM. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the steps that I use to install this and show you some things that are working and some things that are not. First, let's go over to the GitHub page and I can show you the basics of where you can find information to do this yourself. So looking at the GitHub page, we can see this is the Surface Duo Dual Experience Duo DE A15. This was put out by someone called ArchFX, and you can see demos of it running here. They've got posture engines running with dual mode. And from my experience, it's been pretty good. You've got floating window options, split window options, and they even provide GPU and CPU benchmarks based on this ROM. Now, of course, with my Android 14 video and right here on this website, please, if you're going to do this at your own risk, and know that if you do not back up your information, this will wipe your device. Everything was pretty straightforward. I downloaded the release from here, just knowing that right here you have to find the actual version number before you can do that. And while I tried the wget option, I think I actually went to the website. I followed everything to here. And then I just pulled down the download from here because it was a lot faster for me. I went through the process of extracting the image file and then tried to follow these commands. Now, unlike my previous video, I'm not going to paste the commands that I used in the description. I am, however, going to link all of the things that I'm showing you today in the description if you want to try this yourself. Again, these are not my commands. These are the commands used by ArchFX to install this on their device. Your experience may vary, and again, you will wipe your device, and there is a possibility you can brick your device. I actually had to do this on 3 separate occasions, each time restoring back to the factory ROM. I'll also include a generic link in the description for the recovery ROM for the Surface Duo 2. So I ran through all of these, and when I got to this, I kept getting a failure notification. And the most prominent failure notification was there wasn't enough space. So following along with some of the discussions on the GitHub page, I went through and did basically the same instructions I did on my 14 video, which is I just deleted everything and then ran a fast boot flash for the system file, and that seemed to work. After you install the software successfully, you're supposed to reboot the phone to apply configurations correctly. Once you're in the phone, you can enable their ideal treble settings here, which are the specific Surface Duo settings. And there are a list of them here just by following the link in the main GitHub. So, how is the experience running Android 15 on the Surface Duo? Well, off the bat, I can tell you it has been pretty snappy. I've run into some issues, but just like with the Android 14 ROM, I'm not 100% sure the issues aren't with my specific device. If you decide to install this yourself, please let me know if you run into any issues and what they are. I'm very curious, because I believe that the Surface Duo 2 that I purchased a while back has some slight touchscreen issues. I always chalked it up to the hardware and just thought that everybody was having the problems, but I'm not really sure, so let me know in the comments down below. Let's flip the camera and take a look at Android 15 on the Surface Duo 2. So as you can see here, touchscreen and fingerprint sensor work. And there's a really cool animation that shows up just to show you about we're running Android 15. So you do have your widgets and your animations. Everything moves smoothly across the screen. You can see that the Google News works across the dual screens. Turn up the brightness here a little bit. There we go. So now you have your menu shade, which pulls down. You've got your app drawer, which shows up on either side. Pulling down your settings and going into the main settings. You've got your standard list of settings. And then if you pull down on the settings, you can see the Duo Treble DE settings. Now this is where you would go and change your hinge gap if you wanted to disable that. Your default screen in single screen postures, which I've left as is. You can change it to left or right. We'll just leave it at left there. Enable Surface Slim Pin wireless charging. I don't have that turned on because I don't have a pin. And charge pin only when device is plugged in. Again, don't have that on because I don't have a pin. If you disable the hinge gap, the device is going to require a reboot. You can also check for OTA updates. And if we select this, you can just hit update. And if there is an update, if ArchFX decides to put an update out, it will come through here. There's a bunch of other settings you can change, but I have not gone through and done any of that. Now, I haven't had much of an issue with any apps. Matter of fact, I don't think I've had any issue with any of the apps I've installed. I haven't gone through and set up a lot of the apps, but one of the apps that I did set up because I like using this device for reading is the Kindle app. Now you'll see in this mode we have a split keyboard, which works really nice. Learn to spell, type in Kindle. Now, my biggest thing right now is the split screen. And the fact, as you can see here, some of the words are cut off. It's only a letter or two, and I can figure it out myself. It's not that bad. And I also don't remember if this was an issue with the stock firmware. So if it is an issue with the stock firmware in Kindle on multiple screens, let me know. It may be a setting that I can adjust later. And if it is, also please let me know because I would love to use this for reading. Now, as I said, I've installed a couple of apps. I've run a couple of apps. The only big issue that I've run into on the Surface Duo 2 with Android 15 is this. So the device works completely fine in the tablet mode. And if I fold the phone over to the phone mode, everything works fine. But for whatever reason, if I decide to flip over to the back screen, I lose all touchscreen ability. Going back to the main screen, it does the same thing. I'm not sure what's going on with this. And the only way I've seen to fix the issue is by hard rebooting the phone. Now, again, if you decide to install Android 15 on your Duo 2, please let me know in the comments down below if you experience this issue. If you're not, then I can actually chalk it up to the hardware on my device and not the firmware. So this was just a very quick video of me showing you the process that I went through to upgrade my Surface Duo 2 to Android 15 using ArchFX's pixel ROM. If you have any questions about what I've gone over today, please leave them in the comments down below. I always try to answer every single comment. As always, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video as much as I have making it. My name is Bryant. This is Reviews for Nerds. Have a great day.